kişi.
First of all, I have not been able to go back to Iran since 1996. I think Shirin has himself not been able to go back for a long time because of the government finds the word controversial. And also the book was banned ever since it was written. So it was the combination of our own history as artists and the writer, who I explained she was nearly 6 years in prison. We are used to now working in other countries to make believe it's Iran.
Are you still taking photographs, or are you going to make movies from now on? And if you are still taking pictures, can we expect a new photo album, or are you rather working on a new film?
You know, I have been very nomadic with form. I studied with photography, and then after a few years to video. I need, as an artist, to reinvent myself. I get very bored with repetition. This is number one. And the second issue was, I wanted to challenge myself. Could I tell a story as opposed to just express a concept? And I think this is the fundamental difference between visual artists and filmmakers. Filmmakers are storytellers. Artists convey concepts.
Zapytać też kobieta i mężczyzna śpiewali te pieśni. Jaka tematyka? Czy to były pieśni ludowe, czy patriotyczne w wykonaniu mężczyzny w trakcie balu, a potem samej gospodyni?
The songs are really belong to that period, and we chose them because thematically they fit the film.
Was it meant to be a form of mysticism?
I think that for me, art is always about a conversation between the inner world of an artist and the outer world of an artist. And I think what is mysticism, what is emotional, what is timeless, what is poetic, is our humanity inside. It's what is inside. And what is the opposite is the world that we live in, our politics, our history, our religion. And so, in some way, this sense of duality is what I sense as a human being. What I suffer as one single human being, and what I see as social crisis. Therefore, the work becomes the relation between the two. So this duality starts right here.
تظاهرات مردم تهران بر ضد تحریم کشتی‌های ایران توسط دولت انگلستان روز به روز در حال افزایش است.
There has not been many films depicting this period of Iran, both politically and culturally. So it creates a lot of emotions and nostalgia for Iran before the Islamic Revolution. How we looked, how we lived, how cosmopolitan we were, how fashionable we were. The music we listen to. So it really, for both young people who have no memory of Iran at that time, and for the older people like my own mother who lived at that time, I think more than anything, it really becomes very emotional when they see this film. But it's really exciting how people have embraced the film.
Pomyśli?
Opowiada o tym, że kobiety z Iranu to są bardzo silne, twórcze, kreatywne osoby. Czy kiedyś się stanie tak, że będą one mogły wreszcie wykorzystać w pełni tą swoją kreatywność, bo w tej chwili ze względu na panującą sytuację polityczną chyba nie jest to możliwe.
For me, this film is actually very hopeful. This film speaks about a cycle that generation after generation of Iranian people have been fighting for the same thing and have at times been defeated but have always risen again and continue to fight. So I think for the young generation of Iranian, it's important to know that the torch is passed on and the struggle must continue. And we have never been losers, we have always been fighters. So I think for me it was really a signal what these people in this film, the woman and the country, gave us, the sense of courage. And I find that very optimistic, not fatalistic. He also was a man of mystery, where his character was more divine, in terms of he didn't make sense as a normal human being, in a way that he appeared in the brothel, and by turning into a monster, that he escaped the brothel, and eventually he was the keeper of the garden. He was the guardian of the woman. So he's the kind gardener.
Women in shadow who are praying or crying in the space where Zion is coming. What is the meaning of this?
In the month of Muharram, the month of mourning, people are crying for the martyrdom of the saint. So it's a highly stylized way of recreating this ritual that happens one particular month a year, where people are cooking and crying. It's all to do with martyrdom.
Czy czuje się Pani irańską artystką, czy kosmopolityczną artystką?
The question of Iran and the obsession with my culture is because it's an unresolved relationship I have with my country. And the fact that this is an issue that it does not escape me. And I feel like the only reason I became an artist in some ways was to come to terms with this notion of displacement and this lack of resolution. And of course, it's a monologue that has turned into a dialogue, but I have to say that this is the basis of the fact that I don't find the distance to remove myself from the question of Iran and the Iranian situation.